Evening to you all, how are we doing? Welcome to another episode of Adam's Eats. Today I'm going to show you the easiest, quickest, fuss-free way to make Yorkshire puddings. Yorkshire puddings! What's a Yorkshire accent? Yorkshire, that's it, Yorkshire pudding. Yeah, so anyway, Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, great little things, aren't they really? I know you've probably all got your own way of doing things, and I understand, you know, you might have recipes passed down to you from family. You might have nicked Jamie Oliver's. I used to be kind of like that. I used to have a certain way of doing them, and sometimes they'd rise, sometimes they wouldn't. I'd end up with a pile of mushy kind of batter. You know, so mine weren't always that successful. So I got this way of doing it from my best friend. I've known him since I was 7 years old. Went to school together, and he came to see me a few months ago, and we decided on the Sunday to make a roast dinner. I was in charge of the meat and the vegetables, he had the gravy and the Yorkshire puddings. And I tell you what, when they came out of the oven, they were massive, huge, they really puffed up, they were crisp, golden, and they were the best Yorkshires I've ever seen. And he just showed me, I said, how do you do them? And he just showed me how he made them. And it's so easy. There's no weighing out of flour, no pouring out of exact millimetres of milk. It's just equal quantities of everything. So if you just pop down here, and I'll show you how to put these together. Really simple. Right, so here we are. This is what we'll need for our Yorkshire puddings. As you see, I've got some eggs. For this recipe, you probably need about 4. But again, it's equal quantities of everything, so it depends on how big your vessel is. I've got 3 glasses here, of all same size. Your cups might be a little bit bigger, your glasses might be a little bit bigger. It all depends on what you're using to put the stuff in. And again, whatever size glass or vessel it is will depend on how much batter you get. This size glass is going to make probably about 12 Yorkshires, so you know, plenty there for most people. I've got some milk, baking powder, plain flour, a bit of salt, and a mixing bowl. So yeah, that's it really. That's all we need, and I'll show you how to put it together. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put some milk into 1 glass, all the way to the top. So fill your second glass up with flour, and then do the same with your eggs. Just crack them in, 1 by 1. So that's took 5 eggs. Might seem like a lot, but trust me, this will work. Okay, and there we have it. As you can see, we've got 3 glasses equally filled with eggs, flour and milk. Easy as that. Right, so onto the mixing. Right, so simple enough really to mix your batter. All you need to do is pop your flour in first, and your eggs, and then you just want to beat the flour and eggs together until you get a paste. Right, so after about, I don't know, 30 seconds, minute of beating the eggs and flour together, you'll have a paste. Looks a little bit like that. Now you just want to add your milk. Okay, then just gently whisk that together. Okay, until you have a lovely liquidy batter like so. And then what we need to do with this is just cover it with cling film, leave it in the fridge for half an hour. Right, as you can see folks, all I've done is I've taken the batter out of the fridge after half an hour, poured it all into a jug. This just makes for easy decanting into the baking tray, and then I just seasoned it up with about half a teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of salt, and then a level teaspoon of baking powder. Simple as that. And so that will sit for one side, because what we need to do is we need to heat up the oil in the oven. I don't have a Yorkshire pudding tray. Unbeknownst to me, it's just one of those things I've never bothered to buy. I don't know why, and I should really pick one up. So I kind of had to fashion my own. And all this is just kind of little casserole pots, and they fit into a sort of normal baking tray. It works, all right, you know, if it's what I've got, but you'll probably use a normal Yorkshire pudding tray. So yeah, what we're going to do is pop this in the oven, heat the oil up till it's screaming hot, and then we'll pour the batter in. So after about 10 minutes, the oil should be nice and screaming hot. So you take it out of the oven and then you pour in your batter mix into the moulds, probably, you know, sort of about 1/2 centimetre thick, something like that. But just use your eye, you know, each pan's different, you no need to be exact. You know what size Yorkshire puddings you want. I did film this bit, but I forgot to turn my flipping mic on, so that's why I've not filmed that bit, because they're already in the oven now and they're cooking, so I'm afraid I missed that bit. But yeah, you pop them in the oven, turn your oven down to about gas mark 5 or 6, and you want to cook those for about sort of 20 to 25 minutes. And after that point, they should be nice and golden brown and puffed up. Don't open the door in the meantime, because you'll let all the air out. If you made Yorkshire puddings before, you'll know that's a golden rule. So yeah, we'll come back in about 25 minutes and we'll see how they're getting on. So these Yorkshires have been in now for about 25 minutes. Let's get them out and have a look. See how they're getting on. Ooh, yes, that's what you're looking for. You can take these a bit further, get them a bit darker if you want, but I kind of like mine like this. And as you can see, nice and golden brown. Look how massive they are. Look! Right, so put these on a wire rack and then, you know, serve them with your roast dinner. Right, so I've just placed them on a wire rack and they're ready to go. They're nice and light, crispy, and looking gorgeous. Serve them up with your roast dinner and I don't think anyone will be disappointed. Well, there we have it, peeps. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the recipe. Please like, share and subscribe down below and give this recipe a go. If you do give it a go, send me a picture via social media on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll put it up on the page. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.